Hello everybody, today we're going to be playing White Knuckle, and I already have a topic in mind. I'm going to talk about concrete, because the entirety of White Knuckle is made of concrete, and I've got quite a few interesting concrete stories, believe it or not. First, let's talk about kind of like what concrete is made out of, because did you know that concrete is made of cement? I know, probably the most boring fact I could have said. But anyway, cement is made out of limestone and clay, and it's like mixed around in water, and then you get cement, and that's like what brick mortar is. And then you need to make concrete, so you need to add stuff like sand and gravel, and then that makes concrete. Well, that makes modern concrete. But what's really cool is in ancient times they could still make concrete, where instead of cement, they used volcanic ash. Well, at least in the places that had volcanoes, the places that didn't have cement. That's why Rome is full of cement, because they had a lot of volcanoes. As you can see from, the little accident they had, just little oopsies with that one city. Anyway, but concrete is awesome, and it really does let you build, massive superstructure. If you had enough concrete, you could totally build the White Knuckle, compound here. Because concrete is basically, it's just liquid rock. You pour it, and it becomes stone. So, if you give it enough time, you can basically just make a mountain. Like a real, true mountain out of concrete. And it would be made of stone, and would be a completely functional mountain for all mountain functioning purposes. Anyway. Oh, this was not the best game to talk about concrete in. Okay, anyway. What was I going to say next? Oh, yes. Concrete is... So one of the more interesting cement/concrete stories is a cement company. I don't know which one. I can't remember. This is a news article. You can go look it up. They talk about it extensively. But anyway, during the first Arabian War, because we may have another one coming up, there was this concrete production facility, right? And I swear I'm not making this up. Go double check me in the comment section. But anyway, in this concrete production facility, they couldn't sell any concrete because there was a war going on, right? And, the people were using it still because it's pretty much it's the best building material around. You can't get anything better. Like I said, it's liquid rock. Oh, dear. Anyway, so they talked to the Taliban. Of course. What else would a corrupt company do? And they make a deal where the Taliban will buy concrete from them, and they sell it to them at a 10% discount. They end up selling, I'm pretty sure they sell half, at least the entire operating capacity of that factory's worth of concrete to them. And the Taliban kind of form a little bit of a mafia where they are just going around selling concrete and making everyone use this company's concrete. I don't know. Maybe not a great story, but I thought it was really funny. And anyway, so, you've got ancient concrete, which is... The ancient concrete is actually more durable than modern concrete. Modern concrete kind of imitates the volcanic ash. But there's actually nothing better than it. As you can see, the Colosseum, probably, one of the wonders of the world. You probably know what it is. If you don't, you should look it up. It's a really cool place. Anyway, it's made of all those arches, and it supports itself. Rome was... The fall of the Roman Empire was around 1,000-ish years ago. Not quite 1,000, but just about that much. And to have a building last that long is completely ridiculous. Even by modern standards, that's a really long time for a building to be around. think about it. Plastic only lasts for 2,000 years. This building has been here for a very long time. And it's not, like the pyramids, they're just kind of a sandstone mountain in a place where they have very little erosion or like any kind of weather effects to deal with. That just kind of, the pyramids just kind of sit there and they're really just giant mountains of sandstone. This is a complex structure made of arches, made of, oh, I gotta lock it. Anyway, it's made of arches, and it hasn't fallen over. Only a tiny piece of it has collapsed, which, it's not great, but, oh dear. It's not great, but it does happen. Even modern buildings collapse to some extent. Ooh. And, you can see that, like, it hasn't taken much weathering despite being so old. The only real signs of weathering are the little holes in the side. And the holes are actually there from the wind. Because the wind will just kind of chip away at it slowly over time. Hold on, I need to be quiet for a second and pay attention. I can stand here, I can do it. Okay. The wind will kind of just chip away at it in this really quite cool way. It looks like there's like a woodpecker that's just come and pecked out a bunch of holes in it. But it's not, it's the stone pecker. The great equalizer, the wind, erosion, forces of nature. Let's talk about the forces of nature for a second, guys. Do you know how rain is made? Did you know that the ocean is actually what most coastal rains are made out of? And while that is most coastal rains, most inland rains almost never have any ocean water in them whatsoever and are just from lakes. Evaporation is an awesome thing. Lakes evaporate into the sky, they become clouds, and then, I think heat or something will make it so clouds, start leaking, and then you have rain. Man, it's very hard to sound smart while playing this game. Oh my goodness. Oh, by the way, I'd just like to say, this isn't my first time playing this game. I probably have 3 or 4 hours in it now. I've been playing a lot, but I only just got it today, so I'm certainly not very experienced, and will probably die soon here because I just lost a lot of time. Okay. Ooh, a brick. This is made out of concrete. Cinder blocks. Cinder blocks are also made out of concrete. Cinder blocks are very interesting because they're not like proper concrete. They have no gravel in them. They're actually just molded cement. They're closer to mud bricks than they are actual like concrete slabs like these. Because these are proper concrete slabs. They probably have rebar in them. Ooh, speaking of rebar, let's talk about rebar in engineering. Rebar. If concrete were the muscles of the engineering system, they get things done. There's a lot of them. Rebar are the bones. Because concrete is actually deceptively flexible. But rebar is not. Rebar is much more rigid, and it adds the rigidity needed to the concrete to make it last longer. Now, that is to say that if you want to build any kind of large-scale structure with concrete, you're going to need a lot of rebar as well, which means you need a lot of steel, which means you need a lot of iron. Now, where I'm going with this is iron mining is a really cool subject. Iron mines in Australia vent the gases with this lye crystal. that sucks all the carbon dioxide out through a chemical reaction and actually just produces oxygen. And in the show Top Gear, they use these lime crystals on like the end of a car engine, a diesel engine, in fact. And it completely filters out all the carbon dioxide made by the car engine. Now, these crystals are very expensive, which is why they're not in your muffler. But it is kind of cool to think that if we could mass produce these things, we could just and suck out all the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Well, not in the atmosphere, but, you know, we could pull a lot out. Because, you know, photosynthesis is a very interesting topic. And although photosynthesis can take out a lot of oxygen, plants are actually not biologically adjusted to the current environment that we've created in the earth. They actually, if plants were 20% more efficient, so they converted, there's way too much sunlight, way too little carbon dioxide, which is why plants are small. And we, at one point, genetically modified a couple pieces of lettuce, right, to take in more carbon dioxide. And we found out that plants can actually accept 20% more carbon dioxide before the atmosphere is unable to sustain them, which means the Earth has changed so rapidly that, with climate change, of course, that the plants' evolution have not been able to keep up with this change, which is, in my eyes, not great. Now, what does this do, is what I'm curious, because I haven't ever tested this. It seems to... I really don't see anything that this does. Alright. And what upgrades do we have? Elastic limbs. Increase release. Somatic painkillers. I'm not sure which one of these I'd like. I think did I forget to get the upgrade on the second level? I don't know. Somatic painkillers, stamina, elastic limbs. I don't want to pay any bills right now, so I'm going to get this. All right. Okay. What was I talking about? What was my topic? Shoot. I was definitely talking... Right, plants. I was talking about biology. You know, biology is a very interesting topic. Really, actually, no, I don't think it is. I think I'm kind of lying. I'm sorry, I lied to you with that one. Biology on a microscopic level is very interesting. Darwinism? It's kind of baseline science. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think it's that great in terms of the sciences. I think there are many much more interesting things that you could learn about. And that's not to say that biology is, you know, useless or anything, because biology is awesome. Biology is one of the most useful sciences because it's what doctors use to make sure everyone stays alive. And I certainly want to live at least, like, I don't know, halfway to forever. Bug. No, I don't know. Eternal life is, for a philosopher, eternal life actually is like a terrible nightmare. I would not want to live forever. Because everyone I know and love would just die around me. Now, I believe that there are definitely people that could live forever and could be very happy living forever. But I am definitely not one of those people. For instance, like, I have people who love me. I love my parents. They're going to die someday, and I know that. And I've accepted that for the most part. Not really, because I'm like 19, and I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon. But anyway, the point I'm making here is... Geez, what point was I even making? I don't know, I think I was just rambling there. About death. Something about how death comes for us all, and we should all be worried about our own mortality. I don't think that was the message, but that is something that you should all be worried about. If you haven't been thinking about death, start thinking about it now. It could happen at any second. Are you panicking? Good. Keep panicking and keep watching the video. Well, I guess I'm a philosophy channel. Why don't I philosophize about the meaning of life for a minute? Because, well, obviously life has personal meaning to every person, and you find your own meaning in life. That's the real meaning of life, is that you find your own meaning to life. So don't let me tell you the meaning to life. But at least my meaning to life is, you may think we're all going to die, so our actions don't matter, and really nothing matters. But here's the thing, we're all alive right now. So I think that even more so. Oh no! Oh dear, let me go. Fuck you, fuck you. Oh dear. Oh, well, I'm dead. Well, as I was talking about the meaning of life and death, conveniently I have died. So I can talk about death. What was I even saying about death? That screwed with me so bad. Right. Your actions have meaning because the people that come after you will remember them. You see, as you think, I disappear when I die, you don't disappear when you die. You don't just cease to exist. Although your body ceases to function, you don't disappear. You last forever in the memories of people. Now, of course, people can be forgotten. There's, many nameless peasants throughout history that probably built the backbone of the French Revolution, and people that, like the first guy to ever use crop rotation was probably not really recorded. And I'm not talking about the man to discover it, because obviously he was recorded, but the person, like the first farmer that was like, you know what, I'll try out this newfangled science stuff. No one probably cared about him. His family probably remembered him for a little while, but then he was forgotten. But guess what? The actions that he did will echo through the world. He grew more plants. He was probably able to have more kids. And because of that, you might be here now. So think about that for a second. Anything you do today has infinite reactions throughout the rest of reality and throughout the rest of time. Now, that may be a scary thought to some of you, but personally, I find it very comforting, because it means no matter what happens, no matter when I die, there will always be a remnant of me in this world. These YouTube videos, obviously, they won't last until the heat death of the universe. Well, they may, but it's highly unlikely if they do. And to make your life worth living and leave a legacy that someone else could look up to is what I strive to do in life. It's just like climbing out of this pit. I just push forward, I look up, and I keep going, even if my hands are turning red, because that's what you've got to do in life. You got to keep going and move on, even knowing about your own mortality and all these other things and everything else. And life is screwing with you, and you're probably young and scared. And, well, I don't know. I guess I'm really talking from a personal perspective now, that life is hard. And getting over it, just like this, is also hard. But there's fun to it, you know? Like when I died, I did not hesitate to start another game, because the game is fun. And there's a bit of solace to take in the fact that even if your life is forgotten, at least you lived it. At least you were there, Because, even if no one else remembers you, you will. If there's an afterlife or whatever, you'll remember your life. And, well, maybe you won't, but, What I'm just saying is, it's not a good time to give up, if that's what you're thinking. I don't know. I have a feeling that my channel will likely be, at some point, recommended to someone who's had, feelings of self-harm. It's not worth it. Doing harm to yourself, well, it does nothing but harm yourself. But beyond that, it's not really what anyone wants for you. It's not what, well, it may be what the one bully wants for you, or, you know, what your social media tells you to do. It shouldn't do that, but sometimes it does, you know. Remember when that one streamer yelled, "You should kill yourself now," and it became a meme. Yeah, that was very funny, actually. But it was not funny that it was done unironically, and that someone in the chat, you know, they may have killed themselves that day. You shouldn't do that. All right, I'm gonna switch topics because I don't want. This is what I started talking about concrete, and we've gotten to the meaning of life. Well, I guess that just shows how important concrete is. Let's talk about the Hoover Dam, because the Hoover Dam is made of concrete. It's one of the best examples of massive use of concrete. I've actually been to the Hoover Dam. If I have any pictures, I'll put them up on stream, but I don't think I do because I was only there momentarily. When I was at the Hoover Dam, though, I was amazed by how tall it was and like how large it was and how that is really the biggest concrete structure in the world in terms of pure concrete volume. It was something around, it wasn't tons, it was more than it was way more than tons. It was like, I think it was, what was it, jeez. I can't quite dredge it up from my memory, but it was something like 1,000,000 to 1,000,000,000 tons. Now that's an incredibly wide range, but I'm sure you'll go look it up now because you're a very inquisitive person. The ceiling fan. This is like when I jump in, like my room has high ceilings now, but I used to live in a place that had like 6-foot ceilings, and I'm 5'11", and my ceiling fan is, you know, I'm not meant to be that close to a ceiling fan because I almost walked into it every day. I'd wake up and my ceiling fan, and like, you know, you have it on in the summer because it's hot, but you stand up and you hit your head on the ceiling fan. It's a very, very unfun thing. And I guess what I'm getting at here is if you have a ceiling fan, be careful. Don't hit your head on it. It hurts. If that wasn't obvious already. Now, if you're an intelligent person, you already knew that. But, well, we're not all intelligent. Especially me. I hit my head on that ceiling fan at least 3 to 4 times. Honestly, I can't remember. I can't even count the number of times I've hit my head on a ceiling fan. I was just like, you know, because you got like your friends over sometimes, and you'll be jumping on the bed and like being stupid, and then someone does something like, I don't, what was that? Anyway, your friend will like do something stupid, and you know you're gonna naturally also like, what am I even saying? Man, this game's got me screwed up. Anyway. I'm gonna leave all of this in because this is just very fun to me. I love this. This is fun. I should do more White Knuckle commentary videos. Oh yeah, let's talk about the next. I'll come back. I'll circle back around to what I was trying to say a few minutes ago. But let's talk about my next video, because I'm planning for my next few videos to be rather large scale. I'd like to put a bit of more work into this next one, and I'm gonna try. I play a lot of RL Craft. I love RL Craft. I want to do 100 days in hardcore RL Craft. Now that's one of the like most fucked up things that have ever come out of a Minecraft challenge, because I can't even really live 2 or 3 days in hardcore RL Craft. But, you know, That's what you gotta do. Anyway, 100 Days in Hardcore RLcraft is gonna be my next big video. I'm gonna do it all in one session. If I die, I'm gonna probably restart the video, which is why we're gonna be making a lot of takes of this. And it's gonna be, you know, I know a bit more of, I'd like to say I know a bit more about RLcraft than your average 100 days streamer. So, you know, I know some tips and tricks that, like, you might not know. Like, certain weird metal armor sets, like Umbrium, give potion effects. Like, I think Umbrium gives... Umbrium gives resistance and... Oh, it gives something else, too. Resistance and immunity. Right, it gives immunity to poison. Now, that doesn't really matter at all, but it will be cool when I put it into the video. I'm also going to do a lot of editing to this video. I'm going to add a little, like, slide bar with all the weapons we're going to have in the playthrough on it, because I am very particular about my RLcraft weapons. Whew! That was dangerous. I'm very particular about my RLcraft weapons. I need very specific ones. And I'm going to be honest, for at least the Stone Age of RLcraft, I use the default axe. I'm gonna get this thing out of here. Okay, we're good. Oh, how about I show you guys a secret since I'm gaming. If you throw, the easiest way to do it is to keep a rope. Throw a rope there. And if you run over and you climb up the rope, you can get to a secret area up here. Now, I don't really know anything about this, but when I came up here the first time, there was like a grub sort of thing here. Not like the little gold or silver bugs, but it had like a little, like, I don't know, mollusk face, I'd like to say, and it squealed when I took it out. It was very creepy. Now that I think about it, you know what? If you don't want to know, don't go up there. This is a weird game. I'm kind of just now realizing how weird it is that I shove bugs into a machine as payment. I wonder why. What's the meaning of this game? I know the meaning of life, I've just talked about it, but, like, what's the meaning of this game? Oh, this is nice. I'll take that. I really hope that if I use these, it's not going to be like, oh, you don't get the true ending because you used the, like, stim pack, the, like, Fallout stim pack machine. Oh, there's a bug in there. I've never seen that. Alright, well, let's keep going. What? The lights went out. That was weird. I've never seen them do that before, and I almost died on the elevator. I cannot tell you how many... Oh, I just forgot to put my floppy disk in. That sucks. Fuck off. Baltimore. Fuck you, Baltimore. Oh, no. Fuck you, Baltimore, if you want a new car this year. Challenge pissing. That's like one of my favorite memes. The fuck you, Baltimore meme. And you know what's really funny? I think that was a real commercial. That wasn't made by someone, like, ironically, for internet memes. Someone was just... Big Dick Bill's is a real car establishment. And you know what? More power to him. No, actually, I don't think I'd bring my car there. You know, if it just ended at challenge pissing, I don't know. I think that's something that more car workshops should employ. You know what? I'm gonna put... No, I'm not. I'm not gonna put it on screen. Go look it up. This is just a little short video I'm making to fill in the blanks between what's gonna be this and hardcore RLcraft. You know, I gotta flush out the mythos. What was I talking about? Should I play Minecraft? If you want to see me play Minecraft and kind of do this same thing, Or, you know, well, I guess I am playing Minecraft already. I'm playing IRL. But you want to see me play, like, vanilla Minecraft on a server with my friends, comment down below. Because I think I'd like to do that, but I don't know. I also like to just play alone. I've been thinking about streaming. I might make a Twitch channel soon. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying that I'm getting, like, a couple of views. I got 14 views on my relationship advice. By the way, I really hope that if you watched that video, it helped you or it gave you some kind of feeling that everything will be okay. Because that's all that I aim to do in the end. Because everything will be okay. Even if it feels like everything's not going to be okay. Everything is gonna, every little thing is gonna be alright. Alright. Well, that's annoying, but not impossible to get past. Alright. Anyway, everything, as I was saying, every little thing is gonna be alright. Also, no relationship advice in this video. Definitely not. I don't feel like talking about that again. At least not right now. What the fuck is this place? Sorry, that was very crass of me. But, comment remains, what is even this? Weren't there bugs here a second ago? Where'd they go? Huh. Very strange. I don't like this at all. I guess it's better than the elevator, though. The elevator really sucks. So, I like this way better than I like doing the elevator level. So, that's pretty good, in my opinion. Alright. Okay. Let me go around here. Alright, here. I'm about to drop an interesting climbing fact to all you non-climbers. Oh god, the sledge is coming. That is an interesting climbing fact, but it's not the one I was about to say. Oh, where do I go? Where do I go? I need to go over there? Do I have anything that can get me over there faster? Nope. Okay. Okay. This is not good. Anyway. I gotta lock in. Hold on. Yeah. Oh dear. Grab this thingy. Grab the thingy. Grab the thingy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You got it. This doesn't close. Oh no, this doesn't close. Oh dear. Climb one-handed for a second. Okay. Get up. Get up. Go, 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 go. I don't even know if this pipe takes me out, but I hope it does. Oh, it takes me somewhere. Good enough. Anyway, little climbing fact. You know these, like, little metal things that I've been hammering into the wall? Yeah, these things. They're called pickrons. And, you know, they're a real climbing tool. Oh, dear. They're a real climbing tool that actual climbers use to climb mountains. You hammer them into the rock face in, like, cracks. And I think that's kind of insane. Because if you think about it, that means that rock climbers are just smashing rocks. Where do I even go? Where do I go? Rebar. Fuck it. Don't kill me, bug! No! Oh well. That wasn't so bad. Anyway, real climbers just... I can't believe that there are people that do this for fun. In real life. I would love to try real rock climbing someday. Especially on camera. I think that would be a ton of fun. I've been thinking about making a workout video. I really want If anyone cares, no one probably does, but if I have any actual, like, fans, if you feel like commenting and saying what kind of video you want to see next, I'll take it into heavy consideration. Like, if it's not make porn, I'll probably do it. Or, like, smash a bunch of PS5s. I wouldn't do that either. But, if it's anything, really, I'll figure it out. Even if it's, like, you want to see me, like, solder, like, devices, I know all sorts of things. I could clean up an antique radio. I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of very different... Whew. As I was saying, I've done a lot of things, so I have a lot of skills that I can just showcase on stream. If you want to see me walk around the woods, I live in the middle of nowhere, so there's lots of really nice, like, rural places with trees where the birds are chirping and there's really no people. And, if you want like a calm video to fall asleep to, let me know. I'll make one. This video is definitely full of rambling and very little editing, and it's probably going to do pretty badly. But I'm okay with that, because I just wanted to get another video out there so that people know that I'm still making stuff, and that I didn't make one video about relationship advice and then give up. And I'm still talking about philosophy, I'm still thinking about things. I started the video about concrete, and I kind of have made the whole theming of the video about concrete. Probably going to name it something like I ramble about concrete and things. And I'm just going to probably call it David talks about concrete for 40 minutes while playing White Knuckle. Now that's what I'm talking about. To fall asleep to. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. That's hilarious. One of the weird things is that for something that, like, random is funny and comedy is all about subverting expectations, comedy itself has very formatted, like... comedy itself has very formatted methods to, like, doing stuff like being funny. Like, most comedians will tell you, oh yeah, you need to do this, this, and this, and that's how you be funny. And, there are, like, a billion videos on the internet. How to be more funny. How to make funny jokes. The funny joke books, dad jokes and all that. And it's very interesting because comedy is all about subverting expectations and, doing the unexpected. Which is really why it's quite comical that the entirety of comedy can kind of be, like, turned into, like, what do I say? That you can write instructions to something that's all about not following instructions. It's really the essence of comedy, isn't it? 101 jokes. Did you hear the one about... I'm like confusing all of them. I used to read this dad joke book as a kid, but, like, I'm thinking of all of them at once, and I'm getting, like, why did the toast put on the moon at the middle of the night? Those are all words that were definitely in the book, but I don't think they were in that order. Why couldn't the toast get through the door? It was jammed. That's the joke I'm thinking of. Tell it to your kids. They'll love it. Or if you are a kid watching this with the sound off, because I know I would, what do? Oh. Okay. I'm okay. I'm just a white knuckle gamer. That's right. White knuckle gaming. Also, some of you are probably my friends. I'm going to release this after I release this video, or maybe the next one. I'm going to tell a few friends about my channel after I release this video, but after this video, I'm going to start. After this video, after the 100 days in RLCraft video, I'm going to kind of release my channel to my friends and tell people about about this. 'Cause, you know, this isn't the only thing I do. I'm just throwing this. Oh, that almost killed me. This isn't the only thing I do, but, you know, my friends are, you know, fresh out of high school pretty much. I was a senior. I was friends with juniors because I was I was a 2020 school kid, so my social life and the social life of others was not really all there, to say the least. I could take that. Anyway, it not being there, though, led me to make friends with the people that were a bit more socially, how should I say this, adjusted? Yeah. There were a lot of people in what I'm going to call the COVID generation, or the generation like mine, that went to high school as a freshman during COVID that really just didn't high school for some reason. Like, we kind of just clocked out. We're like, all right, this is shit. And it's kind of sad because I feel like I lost a lot of my high school experience. Like, I remember there are like a billion crazy stories I've heard from my parents' high school, and I've got a few crazy stories of my own from my high school experiences. But I don't have nearly as many as my parents do. Like the, what? I just ate that battery. What does that do? What the fuck was the, okay? I guess I can just eat those. I mean, they do look delicious. If you haven't thought about eating batteries, well, then you're probably not autistic. But if you have, they look delicious. This brings up another point of talking. If you could eat anything, like anything at all, no consequences, and get like nutrients from it, I would so eat floorboards. Like I'm not talking about like the ones that are in the floor already, because those are gross. Those have people's feet on them. But if you got like a box of floorboards, fresh from Home Depot, and then like you could just eat them, you can't tell me that you wouldn't at least take a bite. Because I would love a good floorboard. Okay, and then I pull this up and I press the button. Ta-da! I could go for a floorboard right now, in fact. And I was gonna make this video earlier today, but I got some severe food poisoning, so I couldn't really do anything. It was not a fun morning. I have half of this video already made, but then I needed to like run away in the middle of it, so. I'm like in Naruto when he drank all that spoiled milk for his birthday. Oh dear. Let me go! Let me go! Let me go! Thank you. He brought me up here at least. And I've fallen again. But at least I'm like, oh my goodness, can I just go? Go, just go. Go, go, go. What the fuck? Please. I don't know why I cannot get up that thing for some reason. I got a new perk though. Let's do that. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just did some rambling. I wanted to get another video out, let you know I'm still here and I'm still working on stuff. I hope to get more and more content out over time. I'm thinking maybe next video in between while I'm making RL Craft, I'll do a workout video. Because I just broke a 9-minute mile barrier the other day and I'm pretty enthused by it, so. Alright. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I want you to subscribe and hit the bell and hit a like. Or not. If you dislike it too. But I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next one.